that Twitter ultimately kicked you off for?
It was the fifth strike was August 28th, 2021. And it began, it doesn't stop infection or transmission.
That's right.
And you know, that if this lawsuit ever gets in front of a jury, even a jury in New York, which is where, you know, it would have to be heard. And I can't wait to have James Lawrence, to see him present, this is the tweet that got him kicked off, and see what the jury thinks of that.
It's so funny because if you read the tweet now, it's like not even kind of controversial. Like most people are like, duh, if they read that tweet now. And then it was like, whoa, this is the most controversial thing we've ever seen.
And the last line in it, by the way, is, and we want to mandate it, insanity. And I think even people on the left agree now that the Biden administration should not have tried to mandate the vaccines for healthy adults in the fall of 2021. The Pfizer defendants are Scott Gottlieb, who again was and is a Pfizer director, and Albert Bourla, who was and is the chairman of Pfizer.
Okay, so let me get this straight. The right before you got kicked off in August of 2021, Scott Gottlieb sent your tweet that's not controversial, that it doesn't stop transmission, and that mandating it is insanity. He sent the link to that tweet to a Twitter lobbyist. He
actually cut and pasted it and emailed it to Boyle.
Wow, what a boomer move. Which I suppose is neither here nor there. He sent it to a Twitter lobbyist. He didn't directly say, give him his fifth strike or kick him off, but like, I think that's implied. Was he interested in the science all of a sudden that you were sharing? Well, right.
He may have done it on the phone. Like, you know, Gottlieb, there's clear evidence in the back and forth that he preferred to have conversations rather than do stuff via email. But
yeah, I mean,
what we know,
for obvious reasons, when you're doing something wrong, like don't leave a paper trail, dude.
Exactly right. So if we can depose these guys, we will say to them, you know, what conversations do you have? And we'll look for the phone records. We don't have that stuff, but we do have the emails right now.
Okay, so after he sent the screenshot of your tweet to a Twitter lobbyist, the Twitter lobbyist, like you got kicked off, and then there's evidence that the Twitter lobbyist said, hey,
told
I did this.
Other people within Twitter that, you know, I did this and I did it after Gottlieb contacted me. Yes.
Oh my goodness. I don't know how he would defend that.
Whether you like or not what I said about the vaccines, the mRNAs, the COVID vaccines in 2021, it's crystal clear from the evidence that I presented, that James Lawrence, my lawyer, was excellent, and I presented in this lawsuit, that the government, that the Biden administration did lean on Twitter to ban me. And, you know, starting in April 2021, when they had a meeting with Twitter at the White House, and Twitter said, we're not going to ban him right now, but we're going to apply another review to his account. Now, because that in and of itself, by the way, is a First Amendment violation, because they're encouraging Twitter to do something related to my speech that it wouldn't otherwise have done.
And this came directly from people at the White House, at a meeting at the White House?
People at the White House.
Who was that? Do you know?
It was Andrew Slavitt, who was the senior director or senior advisor for COVID response was his title, and a guy named Rob Flaherty, who was the White House director of digital strategy, who went on to become the Biden campaign's deputy director. So these were very senior officials.
And they brought Twitter, like paint this picture. They brought Twitter to the White House specifically to talk about you, not just like COVID disinformation.
It was both. It was what are we going to do about this, guys? We've got to get the whole society on board. You know, Facebook, YouTube, you're all enabling these people to speak, and they're speaking out against the vaccines, and we think that's wrong. And more than that, you owe us. You know, we have Section 230 that protects you from lawsuits. That's very good for you. That's a federal law. You wouldn't want us to take that away, would you? I mean, that was said separately.
So they actually threatened to take Section 230 away if they didn't do something about you?
In July, that's sort of jumping ahead. In July, the Biden administration did openly speak about that. I don't think that was spoken of as far as we know.
I'm not sure that I knew that part.
Yep, it's true. In April, it was let's talk about this, and then according to Twitter's own notes of the meeting, Andrew Slavitt, quote unquote, asked a really hard question about why I was allowed on the platform. And
you by name, like Alex Berenson, why is he allowed on the platform?
Yes, which to me, the analogy is when a cop pulls you over and says, can you step out of your car for me? Now, you may, if you're a constitutional lawyer, know that you're able to say no to that and stand up and argue about probable cause, but 99.9% of people are going to do what the cop says. it's an order framed as a question.
Yeah.
So, Twitter did stand up and they did say he's not breaking our rules right now.
And this was Twitter under Jack Dorsey.
Twitter under Jack Dorsey. Yes.
Okay.
He was kind of on the way out. Had he stayed and been more powerful, I think possibly the Twitter would have fought harder for me, but he was on the way out. But there was still a little bit of that free speech gene in Twitter, which was being replaced by, what Elon used to call the woke mind virus.
Right. And that happened during COVID. Like that was the turning point.
It was happening before COVID, but COVID certainly accelerated.
Yeah.
So in a reasonable world, everything about this lawsuit would have gotten a lot of attention from places like the New York Times because, I use this analogy on my Substack when I wrote about the settlement last week on Unreported Truths. I said, look, if the Trump administration and, a weapons manufacturer were conspiring to get a journalist kicked off Twitter because he was reporting about problems with the F-35 or whatever, that would be a national scandal. Okay. The Washington Post, the New York Times, the Wall Street Journal, NBC, they'd all be reporting about that. Okay. That is exactly analogous to what happened here. But because it was about my questioning the mRNAs, these places, since they can't defend it, they did what they do when they can't defend something or attack me on it. They just ignored it.